What?
200 quid I took off him.
That's how much they paid for a front page story?
Yeah, well, I'd actually, the call was made to, who do you call it? Alan Rennie, the editor, and it was made live. I made the call to him about a month after it, and he tried to wriggle out it, and he said, oh, but that call was made public. I said, well, hold on a minute. I know when that call and who listened to that call, and what you'd put in the paper. The part of that call was not released until 10 o'clock the next night, when I did my own live show, when I released that call, because at that point, when we went on to the huddle board and the record went public, the only call that was released public was the first call, which was a call that was quite inaudible, and you kept hearing going, eh. The call that done, I thought, did the most damage, hadn't been released, but they had included, and I proved to that Alan Rennie, I said, look, you'd put a part in here, and that could only have came from someone listening to that final call. And he admitted it, and then what happened, they said they don't pay it, and I even had him denying it on a fucking show. I phoned him up and he went, oh no, I don't know who you are. And then I just went and found the call that he did with me, and I put that, pasted it up. I said, well, here's this fucking Judas who denied me. And then the £200 I went and gave it to the lovely people. It was a lassie going to Kenya for the Kibera cells, for the 188
I knew it
thing.
went to charity, right, but see, like a long number of years ago, a couple of guys I knew from Maryhill, they were doing this scam in Spain, and they were nicking leather jackets, right? What they were doing is like they were having like a transit van, just, you know how like, and you go and you've got Mallorca and all that, you've got all these jackets out in the outside the shops on the rail, right? And what they had, they did like a transit van, would sort of park up the side, and they would just sort of ram the whole thing in the transit van and just drive off. Right, and one of them gets shot. Right, so there was a guy from the Sun had done the story with a guy that had got shot by the Spanish cops, and to do the story, he says, "I'll give you £1,000." Right, and he did the story, and he told him to fuck off, and he wouldn't give him the money. And he's back here, and he's all that, you know, and I think it was a guy, Steve Sampson. It was the editor or deputy editor at the Sun at the time, but I reckon it was fucking Jack Irvin that was running the show there.
He's a bastard, isn't he? He's an out-and-out bastard, that Irvin.
I wouldn't trust any of them at all.
I know, mate. They're all fucking animals, aren't they? I was just going to phone that bastard Alistair Johnston. I was trying to remember when I phoned him back in August. I was trying to remember what I said to him back then, but I'm sure I went under the guise that I was trying to do a bidding thing. But now I'm just going to go on there and just chew the cud with him and say, listen.
Right, hold on a second. I don't want to copyright your music having this up too loud here.
That's alright, mate, don't worry.
No, you do a fantastic show. Are you not going to start getting back on the radio, phoning into the call-ins, or are you totally sun-dyed from them?
Nah, I just can't be bothered with the name, mate. I cannot be bothered with that radio Clyde. I listened to it for about 5 minutes earlier on the night, and then I just can't be bothered with it, mate. I can't be bothered. I'd rather sit here talking to Celtic people and just do me and shit. For the last couple of weeks, I've not really done any daytime stuff, but I want to get back into doing that because I like phoning up zombies and asking questions and fucking challenging people with politicians. You know what I mean? I feel that's what I want to do. I want to phone more politicians and speak to Salmond and Sturgeon and all that and ask them questions. We can come back to yourself, Tony. I mean, what do you... Have you got shares? Will you be able to go to the voting thing for the AGM in a couple of weeks?
Well, I bought shares and I transferred them into my children's names, so it's up to them, you know. Like something they've got them, and they probably wouldn't want to go and be loud, you know. But I find it abhorrent that. I understand how there's zero contracts, right? I understand that. I know that Paul was saying, oh, look, that's fucking shit. I understand in the business that you're going to have times when you've got work and you don't have work. So it's a kind of thing where it's like a casual labour sort of force on some of it, right? But that doesn't mean to say that they shouldn't be paid a living wage. See, if you're going to buy a pie and a Coke, or a pie and a Bovril, and it's costing you £7, the people that are serving you should get paid a decent wage, you know, because it's, to be honest with you, you can go into Asda and you could buy a can of Coke and a far better pie for 75p, you know.
I know.
Right, so it's just like, I find that is wrong, but I think that, see, Maryhill yesterday when Celtic played Partick Thistle, and there was a food bank got food that's going to last them till May, right? And you've got Celtic supporters have went and donated that, and there was a picture that I saw on Twitter, and it was these girls that had driven from Motherwell just to hand food in. They weren't going to the game, but they just drove to hand food in, right? A lot of these Celtic supporters, they're paying like 40, 50, 60% of their income just to go to the football. You know, and you've got like a Tory lord sitting on the board. It just doesn't sit right, you know.
The war criminal for the British state, you know, and
but the poppy. Oh, don't get me on that. That is just a disgrace. You've got fucking. You've got guys that are going about going like that. Oh, like fuck the Pope and all that on the field at Ibrox. They've got on Remembrance Day last year, they've got a fucking 14-foot gun or whatever it is on the pitch. What the fuck's that about? You know? And I'll tell you what, Tommy, right, see, one of my best mates, he's in the army, right? And I'll tell you right now, I'm in my living room just now, right? And one of my best mates is in the army, and his oath of allegiance is up my wall, right? Because he stayed here when he was on leave, and he came and put it up, right? And it's that I declare, I do solemnly and truly declare and affirm I will be faithful and bear allegiance to Her Majesty and all that, right? But so, like, on that, I think I've been man against the army. What I've got against is that it's what they've actually done. My best mate's from London, by the way. Right, so he's not like a fucking zombie or anything, you know.
I hear you, yeah.
Right, it's like, and he's here, and then one of his mates was here from Aberdeen, who's with him in the army, and they fucking detest strangers. You know, like they're like, oh, what the fuck? But in fact, the guy from Aberdeen's like, how do you know E.T.'s a fucking Rangers supporter? Because he looks like one, you know. and it's like, it's their last little hope that they've got. You know, like, I was talking to a fucking zombie on Twitter, and you know what he was giving it? He's giving it that people are going from Norway to fucking that fucking Camp Twadell or whatever it's called, right? And he's like, oh, they're coming from Norway to the fucking civil rights. I'm like, that's civil rights? Who is it? Is that the fucking guy that shot all the people in fucking Norway? You know? That's the only type of people in Norway that would support them. You know, like, oh, what the fuck?
And what's your take on the stuff with the, we were talking about that, the living wage, but the other thing on the agenda for the UEFA? Do you think that Celtic should vote to ask UEFA to do something about it?
Right, I think Celtic should go at, all right, we want to make a stand here, but what's it going to get you? Is it all it's going to do is going to end up probably costing Celtic, because we're probably the biggest contributors to the SFA. We probably pay more in there than anyone else, you know. And the point is, they're dead anyway.
But they're no. That's the thing. I mean, they're no dead because they've still got something there gone. They're still posing as a Rangers. So
yeah, well, do you know what I would like to do? Right, see if I had a few quid. See if I win the lotto tomorrow night or Euro Millions tomorrow night. I'm going to buy a company that fucking is owed money by Rangers. Right? And I'm going to go like that. Look, I want my fucking money. Right? See if it costs like if I won 20 million, right? I would spend 19 million of it buying a company that is owed £1,000 by fucking Oldco.
But listen,
right?
I'm owed 20 grand by Sevco the new. I'm owed 20 grand. I was promised a year ago by Imran Ahmed and Brian Stockbridge. Brian Stockbridge is still there as a financial director. I've got him on record saying if I come in, he'll give me 20k. First it was a bet and I turned around and I says, I can't take a bet. It's an appearance fee. I appeared. Imran gave me Brian's number. And to date, they haven't paid me 20 grand. So I'll sell you all my debt. If you want to settle it a quarter now, if you gave me 5 grand now, Tony, but I'll settle it a quote for 2 grand if you can hit my PayPal account. 2 grand now, and you can take my 20 grand debt and sue the bastards within an inch of their fucking lives.
No, it's not the new company, it's the old company. The old company, if you bought a company, see, there's loads of companies, there's fucking... the 300 companies that they owed money to.
You get my hopes up here. I'm going to give you a lifetime ban. I was liking your chat, but you got my hopes up there. I thought I was going to be able to sell my debt on here. I've been all day bastards 20 grand for the last year. I wanted fucking... I took a 10% write-off.
If you own a company that they owe money to, all you have to do is go to court and go, they're trading as the company that... They're saying they're the same company that owed me fucking money and have not paid my bill.
So why hasn't any companies done that, do you know?
Well, see, it's probably because, well, you know, like, they send bombs and try and kill people and things like that, right? That's the type of people you're dealing with, right? But you could probably get an offshore company or something like that and get it in the fucking British Virgin Islands, take back to Monaco to fucking Virgin Islands or something like that. But they can't trace you, so they can't send bombs, or else you can give us sort of fucking zombies address and they'll fucking bomb a zombie, you know? Because that's what they're all about. All they're about is fucking threatening violence and trying to kill people.
But hold on, but really, their bark is worse than their bite. Because, I mean, I've got undocumented there. I've got people who phone me. There was a guy who even posted it there saying, you've made your last call, Tommy boy, TikTok. Then I did a show and they were threatening me on there, and then all the times I've had thing. And then look at Paul Larkin, he mentioned the other night there, he'd been given threats. Did you hear Peter Grant tonight on Radio Scotland? What did he say? He said that every fucking time before a Celtic and Rangers game he was getting death threats and all that posted to him. There you go. And he ignored them, and then he was told, no, you can't ignore them. Obviously, we know that he didn't like Peter Grant, right? But that's their way about it. And see all this fucking shit that you get about, and they go, the IRA did this, IRA did that. Well, the point is, see in Northern Ireland, the first person that was killed was a Protestant woman, right? And she was killed by a fucking fuck-up bomb by Ian Paisley's mob, right? Ian Paisley had set up this fucking mob that were just anti-Catholics. They want civil rights and the right to peaceful protests. That's what caused this. They didn't want people to have civil rights marches, and that's why they started shooting Catholics. But they fucked up, and the first load of people that they killed were Protestants, right? They're just fucking arseholes, right? And honestly, Tommy, they are just, they're fucked up in the head, but apart from that, they're kind of stupid. Everything that they do. I was listening to a programme. Do you ever listen to the Nolan Show? Aye, Stephen Nolan, unfortunately, sometimes. I was listening to that last week, right? And there was this wanker on from fucking a community worker from Shankill, right? And he was going on about the Shankill bomb,